Let's talk circles. Happy Tau Day, June 28th or 6/28. Today, we celebrate tau, a number some mathematicians say is even better than pi. Pi has been the superstar of circles for centuries, connecting a circle's diameter to its circumference. But tau, which is just 2 times pi, about 6.28, might make math simpler and more intuitive. Proponents argue tau makes equations cleaner and understanding circles easier. So, is it time to rethink our math traditions? Let's dive into the pi versus tau debate and see which number truly rules the circle. Pi is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, about 3.14. This simple relationship has fascinated mathematicians for thousands of years, and it's the reason pi appears in so many formulas involving circles and curves. Every time you see a wheel roll or a clock tick, pi is quietly at work behind the scenes. Ancient civilizations like the Babylonians and Egyptians used rough values for pi to build wonders like the pyramids. Their early estimates, though not exact, were good enough to create structures that have lasted for millennia. These early mathematicians laid the groundwork for our modern understanding of geometry and measurement. Archimedes, one of history's greatest mathematicians, improved pi's accuracy using clever geometry. By inscribing and circumscribing polygons around circles, he narrowed down pi's value more than anyone before him. Centuries later, the symbol pi was introduced and popularized in the 1700s, making it easier for mathematicians everywhere to communicate this mysterious constant. Pi's digits go on forever, never repeating, making it an irrational number. It's everywhere, in the spinning of wheels, the orbits of planets, the ripples in water, and even in the world of probability and statistics. Pi connects the abstract world of mathematics to the physical universe in countless ways. Its cultural impact is huge. Think Pi Day, celebrated every March 14th, and endless digit memorizing contests where people challenge themselves to recite hundreds or even thousands of pi's digits. Pi has become a symbol of mathematical passion and community. Pi is more than just a number. It's a symbol of human curiosity, creativity, and our drive to understand the universe. It inspires students, teachers, and mathematicians alike to keep exploring the mysteries of math. But is it the best way to describe circles? Some mathematicians wonder if there's a better, more natural constant that could make our formulas even simpler. That's what tau supporters question. They believe another number might unlock even more secrets about circles and the universe. Tau is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its radius, about 6.28. Since the radius is the key measurement when drawing circles, tau connects more directly to how circles are made. The modern tau movement began with Bob Paley and gained steam with Michael Hartle's Tau Manifesto. With tau, the circumference formula is simply tau times radius, TR, not 2PR. Tau advocates say this makes math cleaner and more logical, especially for students. It's not just a new number, it's a new perspective. Should we update our math tools for clarity? That's the heart of the tau revolution. Let's dive into how pi and tau actually work when we use them in real math problems. These two constants might seem similar at first glance, but their differences can have a big impact on how we think about circles and angles. Let's start with angles. With pi, a full circle is measured as 2p radians. But with tau, a full circle is simply tau radians. 1 complete turn equals 1 tau. This makes things more straightforward. For example, a half circle is tau divided by 2, and a quarter circle is tau divided by 4. The math lines up perfectly with the fraction of the circle you're dealing with, making calculations more intuitive and less confusing. When you use tau, the math directly matches the fraction of the circle you want. So if you want a third of a circle, it's just T3. It's simple, clean, and easy to remember, especially for students learning about radians for the first time. Now, let's look at Euler's identity. The classic version, EI plus 1 equals sine 0, is often called the most beautiful equation in mathematics. But with tau, Euler's identity becomes E equals sine 1, which describes a full rotation around the circle. Some mathematicians argue that this version is even more fundamental, because it directly connects tau to the concept of a complete turn. What about the area of a circle? With pi, the formula is a equal sign PR2. If you use tau, the formula becomes A equals sine 1 half or TR2. At first glance, pi's formula looks a bit simpler, but tau's formula actually matches patterns we see in physics and engineering, where factors of 1/2 often appear. In fact, using tau can make many formulas in science and math more consistent, because it often removes the extra 2 that shows up when using pi. This can make equations easier to understand and remember. By switching to tau, you often get rid of that mysterious 2 in your equations, making the math feel more natural and intuitive, especially when dealing with rotations and periodic functions. So, the debate really comes down to which number brings more elegance, clarity, and simplicity to mathematics. Is it better to stick with tradition, or should we embrace a new approach that could make learning and using math easier for everyone? This is a question that mathematicians, teachers, and students continue to discuss. Should we honor the long history of pi, or is it time to make the switch to tau for the sake of simplicity and understanding? For math lovers everywhere, this debate is more than just numbers. It's about how we see and understand the world of mathematics. Which side are you on? So, who wins in the ultimate showdown of mathematical constants, pi or tau? This debate has been stirring up passionate discussions among math lovers, students, and teachers alike for years. Pi, the classic contender, has history, culture, and tradition on its side. For centuries, pi has been the go-to constant, appearing in countless formulas, textbooks, and even pop culture references. It's inspired generations of mathematicians and students, and is deeply woven into the fabric of math culture. Pi Day celebrations, quirky competitions, and even memorization challenges all revolve around this iconic number. On the other hand, tau is the challenger that offers logic and simplicity, making many mathematical concepts more intuitive for learners. With tau, some formulas become easier to understand and remember, especially when dealing with circles and angles. Switching to tau would mean big changes in how we teach and learn math, but it could make future math lessons clearer and more straightforward for everyone, from beginners to experts. Personally, I find tau's arguments compelling. 1 turn around a circle equals 1 tau, which just makes sense and feels more natural when thinking about rotations and cycles. But the debate is far from settled. What about you? Are you Team Pi, holding on to tradition, or Team Tau, ready to embrace a new way of thinking about math? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for joining me in celebrating Tau Day. Whether you're a Pi fan or a Tau supporter, your opinion matters. Don't forget to subscribe for more science fun. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop being curious about the wonders of math.